Hi guys, I'm back again today with another video, and today we're checking out the most dangerous swim in the world. I know this video is a little late, but we're here and we're gonna check this out. Why would somebody do this? And let's see why it is the dangerous swim. So before we start, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell button, let's get it.
Swimmers dedicate months and even years of their lives to cross the English Channel. To most people, it's simply a small segment of water that separates England and France in the Atlantic Ocean. But to swimmers, it's more than that. It's one of the most challenging and rewarding swims in the world. It requires intense mental and physical training to prepare the body and mind for the crossing. It's nothing like your typical swim race. Crossing the English Channel takes grit, determination, and the willingness to put your body through some of the most intense elements.
What is
To
that?
put things
Is
in
that
perspective,
chocolate?
the English Channel is 21 miles or nearly 32 kilometers long. Swimmers typically start in England between Folkestone and Dover and swim across to France, ending in Cap Gris-Nez. But the crossing is far from a straight shot. Currents often push swimmers in more of an S formation as they make their way across. Swimmers move perpendicular to the current. For about the first 6 hours of the swim, the current will push the swimmer up the channel. For the next 6 hours, the current switches directions, pushing the swimmer down the channel.
What do you mean
Battling
6
this
hours
famous
is 6
current
hours
is one of the
is
most
6 hours?
challenging parts of conquering the English Channel, and it's just the start of what swimmers are up against. Waves can reach up to 2 meters in height, and swimmers often encounter jellyfish, seaweed, and other ocean debris. The water temperature ranges from 14 to 18 Celsius. Chilly, right? And here's the kicker. For your swim to be considered an official crossing, you can't wear a wetsuit. But Mother Nature's behavior isn't the only thing swimmers have to contend with. The English Channel is also one of the busiest shipping corridors in the world, with 600 tankers passing through and 200 ferries crossing every day. That makes for a potentially dangerous swim. All of that said, it's pretty clear why so many swimmers have the English Channel at the top of their swimming bucket list. People have been putting their swimming skill and endurance to the test across the English Channel since the late 1800s. Matthew Webb was the first person to swim the English Channel officially, completing the England to France route
12
in
inches and I'm done.
1875 in 21 hours and 45 minutes. American Gertrude Ederle became the first woman to cross the channel in 1926. Across the English Channel since the late 1800s. Matthew Webb was the first person to swim the English Channel officially, completing the England to France route in 1875 in 21 hours and 45 minutes. American Gertrude Ederle became the first woman to cross the channel in 1926, finishing in 14 hours and 39 minutes, beating the
I have a question, right? With these hours, what do you do for, for bathroom break, you can just go, but for eating and sleeping, is this like continuous 14 hours or 21 hours? Is this continuous non-stop, or is there like a break in between? Cause I am not making it, if ever, with no sleep. I've been all night, no sleep.
record time by more than 2 hours. Many more swimmers have since completed the channel and by more than 2 hours. Many more swimmers have since completed the channel, and the current record for a single crossing stands at 6 hours and 55 minutes for men and 7 hours and 25 minutes for women. But some people dream bigger than just crossing the channel once. They choose to do it multiple times. Australia's Chloe McCradle has swum the channel 44 times in her life, and that's the record. And still, other people go even further, crossing the channel multiple times in a single swim. In 2019, American Sarah Thomas became the first person to swim the English Channel 4 ways non-stop. It took her 54 hours. But for every swimmer who successfully crosses the English Channel, there are countless others who don't finish, for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's the weather conditions, And other times, it's an issue with their nutrition, hypothermia kicks in, or another health issue. This is no leisurely swim, and over the years, at least 10 swimmers have died attempting to cross the channel. But that number is probably much lower than the reality. As you can probably tell, successfully swimming the English Channel takes a lot of training and planning, a little bit of luck. Let's dive in to how you can make the English Channel swim happen. First, you have to register. Many people start planning their swims 2 years in advance. There are a few different organizations that facilitate channel swims, so do your research and find the one that works for you. If you want to swim the channel, you have to start saving money. It's not cheap. Reserving the required boat and pilot could cost £3,000 alone. Add on to that
You
about
should be
£400
paying
for
me for
registration,
doing this.
plus £75 for an official Channel Swimming Association certificate, and it's a pricey undertaking. And that doesn't include any airfare, transportation, or lodging for yourself or anyone who will come with you. Within a year of your swim date, you must also complete a 6-hour swim in water that is 60 degrees Fahrenheit or colder, and submit to the Channel Swimming Association to confirm your ability to withstand the cold. You'll also need to complete a medical evaluation before you're cleared to cross the channel. Once you're all registered and your paperwork is in order, you'll be given a time window in which you can start your swim, typically about 5 to 10 days, sometime between July and September. You want to swim in the best conditions possible, so this window gives some wiggle room for your boat pilot to choose the best conditions. And now, it's time to start training. Many swimmers start training for the channel 12 to 18 months out from the chosen date. This allows for plenty of time to acclimate to cold water and build endurance for the crossing. If you're a less experienced swimmer, you may need to start training 2 years out or more to give your body the time it needs to build endurance and strength. And as with any training plan, you'll want to build up your volume until a month or so before your crossing. Then, you'll start to taper and rest and prepare for the day of your swim. There's no one-size-fits-all to training for the English Channel. How you train depends on your current fitness level and how far out your swim date is. Throughout your training, aim to complete a few long open water swims in cold water if you can. This isn't a leisurely stroll in the water. We're talking 5-hour plus swims. Some channel swimmers recommend swimming 50 miles per week in peak training for the crossing, mixing in pool and open water workouts. But ultimately, it depends on your individual needs and experience. There are numerous swim coaches who specialize in English Channel crossings. Seek them out for help in structuring your program. But regardless of how you train, it's important to make sure your technique is on point so you swim as efficiently as possible and reduce your chance for injury. In a swim as long as the channel, technical imbalances will become more pronounced as you get tired, and that can negatively impact your swim. Open water also requires that you change up your stroke and account for waves, wind, and other water conditions. So make sure you prioritize open water training in your swimming journey. Focus on maintaining your goal pace over long distances in training, and mix in a little bit of speed work and different strokes to build well-rounded fitness and feel of the water. You may only swim freestyle during your channel swim, but trust me, doing a little bit of stroke or IM is good for you. Many experienced channel swimmers also recommend learning how to comfortably breathe on both sides of the body. If you know how to do this, you'll be able to swim on either side of your pilot boat for extra protection when the wind picks up. When you breathe, you'll always be able to see the boat and you'll stay on course. Prep yourself for the cold water with lots of cold exposure and practice through training. You can do ice baths and swim in cold open water, and that'll do the trick. If possible, practice swimming in twilight or darkness as well. Depending on when your swim starts and how long it takes you, you'll probably end up swimming in the dark. It's also smart to compete in a few longer open water races during your training to get more practice. And speaking of open water races, I want to thank today's video sponsor, the Global.
Oh my god, they look like fish. Oh, but yeah. Is it just me, right? I don't find this enticing for something that I would do as a person. Like, you're not gonna sit there and be like, Rookie, I'm enticing you to join this swimming competition. You're not gonna, like, it's not gonna work. But for some reason, I also find it really fascinating watching people do it. Like, I like living vicariously through other people's experience. That is me, right? I love it. Like that's why I really, really fell in love with vlogs and all that, because I love seeing people do something that maybe I can't afford, or maybe that I will never try in my life, or something like people will do it and let me see if I can do it as well. So that's why I love watching people like do this ridiculous things, right? I love people going on adventure, mountain hike, and all that nonsensical, because I want to know if I can do it, or if I can't do it, at least I've seen people do it, because I'm too of a pussy to do it myself, right? Like skydiving and all that. I'm like, nah, bitch. Like, nope, thank you. Um, right. So this stuff, yeah. As much as I am afraid to do it myself, I would sit there for literally how many hours and watch it. Yeah, I know.
Series. They host an open water race and event series all over the world.
I
And
like
they've got a
talking
really
about
great
it.
one coming up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, August 28th to September 3rd. It's called the Race the Legends. It starts with a 6-day training camp where
You
you'll
know
learn
what? I want
directly
to
from
watch
some of
that.
swimming's biggest stars, including Ryan Lochte, Anthony Irvin, Cody Miller, Cullen Jones, Bruno Fratus, and more. On September
But I don't
3rd,
know any
you'll
of them.
finish up with an epic open water race where you can go head to head with all of those swimming legends. There's a 1 mile and 5K option, plus a half-mile race for the kids. The event is
Oh,
open to
can I
swimmers
join
of
the
all
kids
ages and
one?
abilities.
And even so, I'm going to be the last, or I'm going to dump like DNF. Didn't finish. Like, yeah.
So if you're looking for something to do this summer, definitely check it out. You can register at globalswimseries.com. We'll put that link in the description for you guys to check out, and it should be a great event. Make sure to check out the other international events that they host for some incredible opportunities to race in beautiful locations around the world. Back to the English Channel program. In addition to training in the pool, some also choose to gain extra pounds to stay warm during the swim. Now, this isn't a requirement, and it depends on your individual
Interesting.
body composition, but some swimmers will gain 10 to 20 pounds to stay more buoyant. A general rule of thumb is to make sure you're eating enough calories to keep you fueled and boosted for recovery after every workout. With the amount of swimming you'll be doing, you're gonna get hungry. You'll also need to test out different nutrition options for your
They
swim.
didn't ask
The
for
channel
fucking
is so
pause.
long that you'll need to refuel at planned intervals and make sure that your body can keep going. Spend
Okay.
time trying various ways
So we
to fuel
can.
up, both by type of food, how often, and even for hydration. It's essential that you get enough carbs, protein, and electrolytes to keep your body feeling fresh. Some swimmers opt for a sports drink and small pieces of fruit or cake, candy bars, and gummies. Others choose to ingest only liquid during the swim. According to the Channel Swimming and Piloting Federation, most swimmers choose to do a feed every hour for the first 2 or 3 hours of the swim, and then increase that frequency to every 30 minutes for the remainder of the channel crossing. They also recommend that you don't think about your feeding time as a time to rest. Try to keep each feed to 1
Also,
minute
you
or
do
less so you can get
pause
back to
it.
swimming as soon as possible. When you complete a feed during the swim, make sure you don't make physical contact with the person giving you the nutrition, because that will cause disqualification. So many swimmers fail to complete their channel crossing due to a lack of proper nutrition. Don't let that be you. So after all that training and preparation, you've made it to England and you're awaiting the go-ahead to swim. After reviewing the weather conditions, your boat pilot will let you know that you'll be swimming the night before. After celebrating your impending swim, spend some time to prepare your gear and nutrition for the next day, and set aside clothing and other necessities.
I was gonna ask, like, what is the point of all this? But then it makes sense. Like, discipline is really important in our human existence. Without discipline or a routine, we would just be all like doing our own shemankles, and there's not going to be peace and order. So even if this is all ridiculous, right? So why do people put themselves through this? I do understand it, because it just makes you, firstly, like, you put yourself in a healthier, um how do you call it, like, diet or exercise, right? And then you have the discipline also of like working out this time, practicing this time, eating this sort of like meal, and sleeping at this time. Like those sort of disciplines in our personal lives are very, very essential. And and maybe there's so much more that the reason why people do this, obviously they want to beat the record, they want to be one of the people who cross the channel. But yeah, if there are other pointers or reasons, let me know.
After you cross, for your swim to be official, you can only wear one standard swimsuit, one swim cap, one nose clip, earplugs, and goggles. The suit, cap, and goggles that you use are up to you, but they can't offer any extra buoyancy or thermal protection. Make sure you test out a few different suits and goggles in your training swims that lead you up to the best performance when it comes down to make it happen. Some swimmers also choose to wear a smartwatch to track the distance, time, and heart rate while they swim. Once your gear is in order, grab dinner with your support crew, fuel up with something easy to digest, such as a big bowl of pasta, and then head down to bed and rest up. Before starting to swim, some people choose to apply a sort of grease like Vaseline to the skin to keep the cold water and prevent chafing. Get yourself all lubed up and await your pilot's send-off.
So that is what
Once
it
you're in the
is.
water, it's time to trust your training. You put in months, maybe even years of work into this moment.
What if
Trust
it's
yourself
hot and sunny,
and
you're
trust the
gonna
support
burn?
crew and enjoy the journey. On your pilot boat, an official observer will watch over your swim to ensure how you comply with the rules. So your crossing can be marked as official and you'll go down in history. Hours later, you'll touch down in France and make your way onto the beach. You've officially swum the English Channel. Take a moment to soak in all the excitement and emotion that came along with achieving such an incredible undertaking. It's time to celebrate. Some people think that swimmers who cross the English Channel are crazy, and they probably are. But regardless of that, crossing the English Channel is one of the world's ultimate swimming challenges. If you want to swim the English Channel someday, or you've done it, we'd love to hear from you. And if you like this video, you're gonna love the video on how I swam from Asia to Europe in the Bosphorus cross-continental swim in
Okay.
Istanbul, Turkey.
I
Be sure to
thought
check out
so.
that video, let us know what you think, and happy swimming.
Okay, because when you say like Asia to Europe, that could literally mean from any part of Asia to any part of Europe. But him specifying, I was like, yeah, I thought so, because like the only way you could do that is through Istanbul, and if not, then you crazy, right? But anyways, not anytime soon. So, but thank you, because I really like to watch this. So let me know if you've tried or want to try, or if this seems fascinating to you at all, that you're thinking about it. But yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.